Alright, it must be day number 77 of my accountability to myself. I appreciate everyone's attention who watches this, and today wasn't really a productive day, and I can even explain why and what happened. So, in the morning, first I woke up at 7:30, and it's really late. But regardless of circumstances, I started studying in the morning, spending 1 hour 30 minutes to study sales. Then I went to the gym, and when I got home, I needed to go to museum because one of my assignments for one of the subjects I have is to attend something that is related to another culture. And the best thing I came up with is to visit a museum. And normally I hate museums. I find it as something extremely boring, but this time it was an exception, I would say. Probably I still don't know why I liked it, because I really, when I entered the museum, I really liked it. And I enjoyed walking inside and read all read all the articles I've seen, to look at all the landmarks or whatever it's called. And it was really interesting. I liked the vibe, and I'm really glad that I didn't ask anybody to go with me, because I didn't open my mouth at all. The atmosphere was to be silent, to look at each of the items, and to reach inscription, to reach description. Yeah. And it was really cool. I spent almost 2 hours, I guess. For me, it's a lot. All right. Normally, I used to, as I mentioned, I used to hate museums. And one of the reasons is because I was attending boring museums. Second of the reasons, I was attending them, oh, I attended them when I was a child. And when you are a child, you don't really realize how interesting it is when there's an item which was found like 500 years ago or something, and there's some history behind it. And I could read it in three languages: Dutch, French, English. All of those three languages, of course, I had an ability to read properly only in English, and even in English, I couldn't really understand everything properly. I don't know why, but the vocabulary that is used there is kind of weird. I didn't really know a lot of words. That's why I guess I could understand the context, but I didn't really understand everything properly. And it's one of the things that I struggle with studying English. Sometimes I feel that I'm fluent in this language. Just I can speak, I can express my thoughts, I can read books, I can consume content, watch content without I understand everything. But all of a sudden, when I need to encounter something new, period, I cannot understand anything. And it's really weird. It's one of the proofs that there's always some room to grow. And of course, I didn't even stop to study English. I keep doing that. And one of the things, by the way, also related to reading a book, because lastly, I noticed that lately, sometimes I even confuse between the words. So lately, I understand pretty much everything reading an English book, but today something was with my mood, something was wrong, and I couldn't understand a lot of words, and it pissed me off, because why? Why I'm reading a book and I don't understand a lot? And one of the reasons, I guess, is because when I returned from the museum, it was kind of late. It was 5 p.m. And instead of start studying, I had my lunch and I indulged myself in engage in entertainment content, and it was a mistake. It was one more proof that every time when I indulge myself with some cheap spikes of dopamine, it leads to as a result, it causes dopamine receptors downregulation. As a result, I need even more dopamine to feel the same pleasure. Yeah. And I spent about an hour, I wasted about an hour, maybe even more, watching such kind of content. And then I tried to study French and I couldn't concentrate at all. First, because I've chosen a text when I didn't know a lot of words. And when you choose something to study over hard, normally it leads to desire to abandon this, right? It was the first thing. The second is that I didn't really want to study. It was so hard to study for 1 hour French today. And after that I was reading a book. It was so hard to read the book, to concentrate. I'm not really jealous of people who watch reels since the morning, because it's the best way to waste your day. When since the morning you just start scrolling in your phone, because since the morning your dopamine receptors goes up, and it's probably impossible to start studying or something. And yeah, so I'm not gonna make this mistake anymore. At least I will try not to do this. But it was a specific moment because I attended this museum. It was something that I didn't want to do, but I liked it. And then I returned home and I thought, like, I feel like watching some entertainment content. Why not? I feel that this day is kind of chilling. And then eventually it was chilling day. Yet I studied 3 hours today. Even though it's a bad day in terms of studying, but still 3 hours of studying, which is really good. And the most ridiculous thing I would say is that I thought, all right, today I'm not studying a lot. I will be able to fall asleep earlier. Now it's 10:30 p.m. and I'm gonna fall asleep probably at 11 p.m. as always, and I'm gonna wake up at 7:30. Why? Because I was watching it too much. Even after reading a book, I decided that I can watch this stuff some more. Yeah, I just reassured that it's something that I don't really need. I don't need this entertainment content. I just need to keep studying, because normally it's amazing feeling when I study 6-7 hours per day. In the end of the day, it's amazing feeling. My mind is full of thoughts to reflect on. So yeah. Alright, that's all for today. I didn't really want to make this video long enough. I just wanna write down that it's like this. Yeah. Alright, and I can finally go to bed. So yeah. Basically this kind of day. Also in the following days I'm gonna return for a couple of days to my parents. Probably it will be also hard to study there because it's another room, it's another atmosphere. And I remember the last time when I returned, I studied pretty well. I studied 8 hours per day, but it was really hard because I didn't have access to the gym, because of course I have gym in that town, but it's another one. I need to buy a new abonnement, so like I need another subscription. Alrightly, so yeah, that's all for today, and without it being said, see you the next time.